Yo, what's up guys? James Carter TV here to recap the Sunday night football game between the Denver Broncos and the Detroit Lions. Now, I did pick the Detroit Lions to win this game. Unfortunately for me, I have gotten 9 games right this week, but compared to everyone else, this is yet another underwhelming week for me. For my picks, I need to step them up. I'm about like 23 in the James Carter TV Picks Challenge. I need to be way better than that. I'm supposed to be the expert, and a lot of you guys are kicking my ass. That has to change next week. And 3 teams this week, home teams, let me down. The Browns let me down at home. The Lions let me down at home. The Titans let me down at home. And the Ravens, 4 teams actually, let me down. They couldn't even win on their damn home field. And the end result is I'm going to go probably 10-6 unless the Packers let me down at home as well. But anyway, on to the game. Now, the Detroit Lions, I can't even believe it. I mean, I really can't believe how, not bad, I don't want to use the word bad, but how underwhelming they are yet again. I mean, isn't this why they fired Jim Schwartz? Because they keep underwhelming, they keep having these seasons. Actually, they only had 2 now, but a season where they make the playoffs and we're all like, hey, the Detroit Lions are here. And then the very next season and for seasons to follow afterward, they underwhelm. Remember, they went 10-6 in 2011, came back and went 4-12 in 2013, and right now you kind of have to wonder if that's sort of the drop and the kind of fall they're prepared to have. Now, with that said, I'm going to take a laissez-faire approach, and I'm going to say calm down, because these losses haven't been horrible losses, okay? Week 1, you lost to the San Diego Chargers. I believe that to be a playoff team. Week 2, you lost to the Minnesota Vikings. They are going to contend for the playoffs. Week 3, you lost to another playoff team, the Denver Broncos. The problem is you have more playoff teams coming as you go to Seattle next week, as you host Arizona the week after that, and then things are going to get easy. You could start out 0-5, but the Lions are not going to be picking top 5 this year. I refuse to believe that, because they still have to face the Bears twice. They still have to face the Raiders. They're hosting the Raiders. They're hosting the Eagles. They're hosting the 49ers. They're going to the Rams. They're going to the Saints. They're hosting the Chiefs. They're hosting the Vikings. I still see 6 wins here. I do. But, man, that's an underwhelming season for this football team. And they're not going to fire Jim Caldwell, but I don't think he was a good hire in the first place. And it shocks me why and how Matthew Stafford's growth and development as a franchise quarterback has been halted, has been hindered, has just been stopped and stifled. I mean, this was a guy in 2011 threw 41 touchdowns to 16 interceptions, had 5,000 freaking passing yards each year since. Down, 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 down. How do you let this happen? Yeah, okay, he did have an okay 2013 campaign, had 29 touchdowns, but the passing yards once again went down. Every year the passing yards have been going down. Every year the passer rating's been going down. Now he's hovering at about 70. I mean, he's going to be 78 after this game. What is going on? You can blame the offensive coordinator, Joe Lombardi. You can blame Jim Caldwell. I don't know who you're going to blame, but man, this is a quarterback that has not developed while everyone else is passing him by. Andrew Luck is passing him by. Russell Wilson is passing him by. Ryan Tannehill is passing him by. All these quarterbacks are progressing and moving forward. Stafford's still there, and you have to start questioning or wondering, okay, we've gone through Jim Schwartz, we've gone through Jim Caldwell, we've gone through this many offensive coordinators. Is he good enough? We have to start wondering and thinking these things. Calvin Johnson, they started showing him and implementing him in the offense a little bit today, and when they did, you can see that he can make plays and he can still be a dominant receiver at this level. It was nice to see him get some passes. Eric Ebron looks like he's not going to be a total bust. Now, he is still a bonehead, and he's still going to He's still going to warrant penalties, and he's still not going to block. But he'll catch a nice pass every now and then. He still runs a 4.60 40, and because of that, he's still a threat on the football field. But with Golden Tate, with Eric Ebron, with Calvin Johnson, the offensive line isn't great. Okay, it's not great. All right, Laken Tomlinson, the first-round pick, hasn't come into his own. Riley Reef isn't playing up to the expectations they had of him. But Stafford, I don't want to hear the excuses. I don't want to hear it. He has to be better than this. In fact, I believe it was 2013. He was only sacked like 20-something times. He's still just not good enough, man. I mean, now you have to start wondering. Now on to the Denver Broncos, though. This is a team that I picked to go to the Super Bowl and lose. And I think it's because their defense is just too good. I said this in my predictions video for this season. That yes, Peyton Manning looks old, and yes, he looks like he's in trouble. Their defense is really good. Now, I don't love the pick, not because I don't love the Broncos, but because the Patriots look really freaking good. But I like the Broncos to go to the AFC Championship, especially since there's not another team in the AFC outside of the Patriots that I think is going to give them any trouble in the AFC playoffs. Because I don't think the Steelers are making the playoffs with this Ben Roethlisberger injury. The Ravens aren't making it. The Chargers may make it, may give them troubles. I don't know. That's yet to be determined. But outside of the Patriots, I don't see anyone in the AFC challenging the Broncos. The Broncos, to me, are looking like they're an AFC Championship-bound team. They're going to get that first-round bye. And they're winning tough games on the road. One at Kansas City, one at Detroit. Beat Baltimore. Next week, they're going to host Minnesota Vikings. And that's a tough game, though. They cannot sleep on that game. But I think they'll win. I think Teddy Bridgewater won't be able to throw anything against that Broncos defense. Because, I mean, first of all, he's charting out. And I said this in my preview for the Minnesota Vikings this upcoming season. Or, you know, when it was coming into the season that, look, you have Mike Wallace and Charles Johnson, who for some reason got hype heading into this season. I don't know why Vikings fans love to hype these bad wide receivers like Cordero Patterson, Charles Johnson, Greg Jennings. You people need to stop. They're not good. I mean, Charles Johnson, I don't know what he did today. Let me see if he did anything today. I'm going into the Minnesota Vikings. It's supposed to be a Broncos game recap. But nevertheless, Charles Johnson today did one reception for 9 yards. I mean, this guy was being talked, oh, he's the number one wide receiver, blah, blah, blah. No. Jarius Wright is your best receiver, and he's not even a number 2 in the NFL. Get yourself a wide receiver next year, please, and then you can make the playoffs. Anyway, Minnesota Vikings are going to travel to Denver. I have Denver winning that game, and Denver is going to continue to win games, and you won't understand why, but it's because their defense is really, really, really good, and it's going to be difficult to score on this defense. And Russell Wilson, who I've always looked at Russell Wilson, and I think lower of him than many of you do. I just don't think that he's that good. I think he's opportunistic. I think he can make a nice play. I think he's a franchise quarterback. I don't think he's that good, and I would take Peyton Manning over him right now. One season, win the Super Bowl, give me Peyton Manning. So if Russell Wilson, with a great defense, could win the Super Bowl, Peyton Manning, with a great defense, can definitely win the Super Bowl. All right, so with that, I said, yeah, Broncos have a great defense. All right, they're going to go to the Super Bowl, but Aaron Rodgers is going to dissect them, is going to throw all over them, is going to figure out their defense, and he's going to win. It's looking more Packers-Patriots, but we still have a way to go before anything is finalized there. Any other takeaways? Yeah, Ben Roethlisberger missing 4 to 6 weeks. As of this moment, I do not have the Steelers making the playoffs, but I mean, they'll still be in the mix, definitely. Now I'm projecting 9-7, possibly 10-6, no worse than 8-8. But it hurts, you know, it hurts, and I don't think Michael Vick is even going to stay healthy. He doesn't stay healthy. He's 33 years old, and when he was even in his prime, he couldn't stay healthy. Now that those bones are starting to erode, how is he going to stay healthy? I don't see it. So I think they'll be calling on Landry Jones very quickly, and yes, they can run the ball with Le'Veon Bell, and they can throw to Antonio Brown, but Antonio Brown, although he's very skilled, And Le'Veon Bell, although he's very skilled, they're not going to carry this team, this offense. And I have my troubles. And the Bengals, I thought they were going to miss the playoffs. They look like AFC North champions. If they lose the AFC North, I mean, this is going to be one of the biggest choke jobs I've ever seen. But at this point, I guess you have to pick them. I mean, you just get another unfortunate injury. Roethlisberger, Romo, those two injuries, by far the biggest injuries, the most killing injuries to starting quarterbacks. Very good, top 5 to me, quarterbacks in the NFL down, and their teams will see how they can do without them. And we saw the Cowboys. It wasn't very good. Until next time, James Carter TV, I'm out. Peace.